Class, so I wanted to do a brief exercise 7-2, schedule of expected cash collection. So this is from our sales budget, right, and including a schedule of expected cash collection, right, and the sales budget is one of the starts of our, this is the start of the master budget, so let's start doing that. Budgeted sales on account 300,000, 500 for May, 200 for June. It goes on to say that February, down here, February sales totaled 230, March 260. So we do need that information. 230 and March 260,000. So from past experience, the company has learned 20% of the company's sales are collected in the month of sale. Another 70% are collected in the following month, remaining 10% collected in the second month following the sale. Bad debts are negligible and can be ignored, right? So since these sales are all on account, we have to be careful lending out credit to customers that are not worthy or, not credit worthy and won't pay us back. And so if bad debts are negligible, that means that only a tiny portion will not come back to us, and it's not important, if it was like $1 or, negligible. It's just a small amount we don't have to worry about. So if it's negligible, that's assuming that all of this, all on account, they will all come back to us in the timing that is suggested here. So just refer to the timing of how they collect the sales and don't worry about writing off any bad debt expenses. These customers seem like they're going to be creditworthy, and we don't have to worry about not collecting some of these credit sales since they're all on account. There's no cash sales. So you'll need to be careful if there are cash sales, right? Because part of it will be cash and you'll collect it right in that month, and part of it will be credit. And then the credit, we need to figure out the schedule of how they're going to be collected, or the pattern of how they're going to be collected. So 20% in the month of the sale, 70% in the month following. So it pretty much goes 20%, 70%, and 10%, right? 10. So we should start in February, because that's the data that we have, and then we'll move on to March and April and May and June. So 20% of these sales will be collected in February. So this is the amount that will be collected in February. Right, and then 70 will be collected, and then 10% collected. So we can use this this format, right? We can move that to March. 20% of the March sales will be collected. 70% of the 260,000 will be collected in April. 10% of the 260,000 will be collected in May. Same thing for April. We could continue this on. 20% of April sales, right? And we would continue on and on, right? So let's see how that's gonna go. So we knew it was gonna be 70% of this 230,000, and maybe just highlighting what I'm multiplying this. This 10% times by the 230,000. This is what's going to be collected for February sales. So this is February sales collection pattern. Right? Over here we have March sales. I don't know if color coding it is going to help you, but we could do that. Right? And then you could sum these up if you wanted to know. I summed them up, and it is 260,000, so I'm just breaking these down. Sometimes we don't collect them all, but over here we should be collecting 100% of this 260,000. This 20% times it by the 300,000. Make this a different color. This one a different color. And I can make this D to an absolute reference, so it will always refer. So pretty much the formula says this number above, right, this D9 above, times it by this D2 all the time. This D2 will stay constant. And so, what does the question ask? Prepare expected cash collection from sales by month in total for the second quarter. Assume that the company will prepare a budgeted balance sheet as of June 30th. Compute the amounts of receivable as of June 30th. So, whatever we received, right, the balance would be what we have not received as of June 30th. And so they said for the second quarter, prepare a cash collection schedule. So second quarter, if this is a typical year, January, February, March would be the first quarter, April, May, June, right? So we're going to be collecting, right, this amount for April, May, and June, right? And we can do a total here. This will be collected, this will be collected, and this will be collected. Okay, and then these are just the number of sales that won't be collected right away, okay, so but this amount will be collected over here. I don't know if we want to make this a different color, a gray. So these three, right, and you should know that every single month will have three different amounts you're collecting, right? I have 10% of the February sales, I have 20% of the March sales, and this is my quarter. I'm only focusing on this quarter, right? So 10% of the February sales, 70% of the March sales, 20% of the April sales. Collection. It's not necessarily the sales, excuse me, it's the collection, cash collection. March cash collection. We've already made the sales, but we're just worried about when we're going to get the cash. And so for this one, we're going to collect this amount plus this amount plus this amount, and this one, this amount plus this amount plus this amount. Okay. And so then they're saying, what is the accounts receivable balance? So if we have not received this cash, then we still have a receivable. So the AR balance as of June 30th, we still have these three outstanding. This amount, and this amount. And so that's your answer for your AR balance.